Welcome back, everybody. Welcome back to another video. Welcome to a Champions League draw reaction for the round of 16 in February. The draw took place earlier on today. But before I get into that, if you would like the video, helps other people find the channel. Subscribe if you are new. We're trying to reach 7k as quickly as possible. And let's get into the draw. Now, I will get onto the general draw, but of course I want to spend a bit of time talking about it from a Man City perspective, as that is the basis of this channel. Now, of course, we drew FC Copenhagen out of the infamous Man United group. And to be honest, I'm not going to say I'm disappointed or I'm unhappy with the draw, because if I'm being real, I mean, we played them last year. It's probably about as easy as it's going to get for us. Like, no disrespect really, but yeah, that's probably the best case outcome, the best possible draw in terms of getting qualification for the quarterfinals. I don't think there is another team in the draw that would have given us as good a chance. Now, of course, this is not saying that I don't think we would have qualified if we would have got anyone else. Far from it. It's just I think that's the best possible outcome for qualification. The easiest, if you will. Even though there are no easy games in the Champions League. I'm just going off previous history. We played them in the group stage last year. We beat them 5-0 at home. We drew 0-0 away, and that was after having a man sent off and missing a penalty. And we still, held them to 0-0. Now, of course, we're a totally different beast this season. We're an awful beast this season, currently. But I imagine come February, when these fixtures roll around, it'll be much different. You'll be looking at Kevin De Bruyne will be back and will have played some minutes already. Possible January business to be done as well. Maybe some tactical tweaks from Pep Guardiola. That's normally the part of the season where we figure something out and kick on. So I really don't see there being any issues for us qualifying. I didn't anyway, to be honest. I think the only tie that I would have maybe looked at and gone, I don't know what's going to happen, is if we would have drawn into Milan, because they are flying at the moment. And of course, last year's finalists finished second in their group, which I don't think too many people expected. I didn't expect them to finish second. I thought they would top that group. But I think if we would have drawn Inter, probably the toughest it would have got. So I'm almost glad to kind of avoid them, at least for now. Who knows what's going to happen in future rounds of the draw. But in terms of just general feeling, again, I'm not disappointed, because it gives us an amazing opportunity of going through. But at the same time, we played them last year. I'd quite like someone different. Yeah, to say I'm over the moon with it would be a lie, because I'm not. But I'm not here to say I'm disappointed or be negative. It's a good draw for us, really. It's a good draw for us. So moving on to the rest of the draw, I suppose. I mean, I'll put it on screen now. I have an image of the rest of the draw, and I gotta say, from a neutral perspective, pretty disappointed. I am pretty disappointed with the rest of the draw from a neutral perspective. I can't pick out a game there and go, well, that's a really good tie. That's going to be a really good two legs. Like, I can't say maybe Napoli, Barcelona. If both of them teams play how we know they can play, the level that we know that they can reach, then maybe you've got a game. But a little bit of inconsistency here and there with a few results, of course. Barcelona in La Liga, a little bit inconsistent. I mean, Girona are top, CFG. And Napoli sort of aren't the beast that they were last season. Not quite, at least, anyway. So it's not a tie that I look at and go, that's a classic. I think that's the word I'm looking for, a classic. There's no classics. There's no Champions League knockout tie that I'm looking for, that I'm looking out for and going, from a neutral perspective, I'm looking forward to it. I'm not I mean, Leipzig Madrid will be interesting because Real Madrid have suffered yet another ACL injury. And obviously, RB Leipzig are willing to give teams a go. They gave us a go. They were 2-0 up against us, albeit we were playing absolutely horrifically. But again, like, I'm not looking forward to any of these ties. PSG just don't, they're not the team anymore. They're struggling a lot. Obviously, Arsenal fans will be pretty happy that they got Porto. It's probably one of the better outcomes for them. But there's a tie. I mean, Borussia Dortmund PSV is not a tie that I am even going to think about watching, to be honest, because there'll be another game on that take my interest over that. Like, just from an overall perspective, it's not a great draw. It's really not a great draw for a Champions League, the creme de la creme of football, the peak of European football. To say there is not a single game that I'm looking at and going, that's going to be a classic, it's just disappointing. It's just disappointing. Of course, it's a random draw, so this, could happen. But again, I'm not going to lie, I'm sort of maybe indifferent would be the word. I'm not really, I'm not going to lose sleep over it, to be honest. There is still the potential for some of these games to be great. Don't get me wrong. It's not me saying that they're not going to be good games, but I'm just, on paper, they're just not the most exciting. So we'll have to wait and see. We'll have to wait until February rolls around, until these games are played to see how good they are. But again, like I said, no real outliers here. So let me know in the comments what you make of the draw in total, what you make of the draw from a City perspective. And also, I'd like to know if you have any opinions on who you think is going to get through. Let me know in the ties. Who do you think is going to go home? Is there going to be any shocks, any upsets? Let me know down in the comments. I'm interested to hear what you have to say. If you like the video, helps other people find the channel, and subscribe if you're new. We're trying to reach 7K as quickly as possible. And I will see you later on today. I'll see you tonight, because City play tomorrow. I'll see you tonight for a preview of our first Club World Cup game.